Everyone talks about XRP being the asset that settles all the money, but that doesn't happen alone. For XRP to fulfill that vision, it needs a full tech stack and integration. It needs bridges, it needs interoperability, and that's where the EVM Sidechain, Wormhole, Axelar, and Chainlink all come in to make that possible. So XRP was designed as a bridge currency, a neutral asset that can settle value between two parties instantly for pennies on the dollar anywhere globally through any currency. But to settle all the money, fiat, stablecoins, CBDCs, tokenized stocks, commodities, and DeFi assets, XRP needs to reach every single ecosystem, which means that more than just fast transactions, it has to be universally interoperable. And that's where these other components come into play. And that's why it's going to take the integration of all of these for XRP to end up being the backbone of the financial system and settle all the money like we want it to. So let's start off with the EVM sidechain. The EVM sidechain brings Ethereum smart contract functionality to the XRP ledger. What does that mean? It means developers can build DeFi protocols, stablecoins, tokenized real-world assets, and more, all natively on the XRPL using Solidity, which is the most common coding language there is when it comes to smart contracts. And that's again because of the prevalence of Ethereum and the proliferation of all of the layer 2s and all of the things that have been developed on that blockchain over the past decade. So this makes XRP compatible with all of those ecosystems. And I think there's a possibility that as things progress here, they may not look as good for ETH, and a lot of those layer 2s and DeFi protocols may end up on the EVM sidechain. But this enables XRP to flow into each one of these ecosystems, lending, DEXs, and asset issuance protocols. So wrapped XRP, all the fun stuff that people want for XRP is only possible because of the EVM sidechain and some of the other sidechains that I think will come along later. That includes the Purist sidechain, hooks, and many other things that they're currently working on. But right now, the EVM sidechain is definitely the winner when it comes to XRP's usability and interoperability with other ecosystems. So without smart contracts, XRP is just a bridge. With the EVM, it becomes a programmable financial settlement layer, which again, we all want for it to be if it is going to settle all of the money. But smart contracts alone are not going to cut it. Okay, and that's why we need Wormhole, which was announced here recently, and Axelar to come in with their cross-chain messaging protocols. Wormhole connects the XRPL to Solana, Ethereum, Avalanche, and over 30 other blockchains, which allows tokenized assets and messaging to move seamlessly across these ecosystems. Now, Axelar provides secure general message passing between chains. And this is the fun stuff. This is the stuff you guys want, right? So it enables things like cross-chain swaps, cross-chain yield strategies, and composable dApps using the XRPL as a liquidity basis. All right, so what does that mean? You draw margin against your XRP and then use it in other ecosystems. So together, we got Wormhole and Axelar giving XRP the ability to be interoperable with every major blockchain in the world, which is huge. In order to be the settlement for everything, you need the interoperability, you need access to those ecosystems, and they need XRP speed and scalability to be able to settle all of this real time. But that's not all. Like we mentioned in the beginning, you're going to need an oracle, and that's where Chainlink comes in. You need data, you need real-world prices, you need rates, you need events, and you need triggers for these smart contracts to actually work and function as they're supposed to. And that's what an oracle does. Chainlink provides price feeds for XRP pairs. It provides FX and commodity data that's used within these environments. Cross-chain messaging is also another component when it comes to Chainlink with CCIP, and this fills the gaps where maybe Axelar and Wormhole don't quite yet fix everything. This also allows for verifiable proof of the reserves for tokenized assets. So let's say you've got treasuries that are backing these stablecoins. You need something to be able to audit that and verify that on chain and know that those reserves are there. Whereas if you didn't have that, I don't know that that trust is there. So that's what Chainlink provides. It makes XRP-based smart contracts and tokenized assets on the XRPL trustworthy, reliable, and secure for institutional grade use. Imagine this stack all working together. You got XRP as the bridge asset. You got the EVM sidechain running DeFi infrastructure globally. You got Wormhole and Axelar connecting the XRPL to every other layer 1 blockchain. And you got Chainlink providing the data into all of these smart contracts that are on the EVM sidechain or these other side chains on the XRPL to be able to execute real-time transactions between all of these tokenized assets. It becomes the universal settlement layer for tokenized treasuries, global FX, CBDCs, stablecoins, real-world assets, and interchain DeFi. This is how XRP ends up settling all the money. It's not just a lone asset, but it becomes the nucleus of an interoperable financial operating system. Bar none, this is where this is going to happen, in my personal opinion. Again, nothing here is financial advice. Make your own investment decisions. And you're going to need all of these pieces working together to accomplish this. This isn't like a, fly-by-night type of thing. There's a lot of partnerships and things that need to be curated, but they seem to be in place at this point, or very close to being in place for this to be actualized like we all want. So if you thought XRP just needed clarity and price action, think bigger. It needs bridges, it needs contracts, it needs oracles, and the part that we all want, which is that liquidity. And I think we're about to get them. We're not just watching a coin pump, we're watching the foundation of a new financial system take shape, and you're here for it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is one of these, going to outperform the others? Am I blowing smoke thinking that XRP is going to be the one that settles all this? I know a lot of people think Chainlink or Axelar, one of these chains is going to operate independently and take all of the market share. I don't believe that. You need interoperability between all of those ecosystems that we've touched on here, and maybe even some others, to see the actualization of this technology adopted globally. But I do think XRP is going to end up being the backbone of that. So if you've got some value from this, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on the next one.